conspicuously missing on the floor is the mover of the motion. And it is not for nothing that the Constitution says the finance minister can lay the budget on the floor on behalf of the president. The House too is prepared to make our input for the finance minister to convey it to the president. So you can't just come and move the motion and you are not there. Remember, we are in a critical stage as a country. And members have researched. Over the weekend, we were all in. You took us there. You gave us technical insight and guidance. Members are prepared to make their input. And Mr. Speaker, it is only appropriate that the finance minister must be here. Mr. Speaker, if he's not ready to do the job, he must let the House know. He must be here for us to make our input. Then he sent it there. We are in a critical stage as a country, and we want to bring our suggestions in the form of debate. So you bring a motion, when we finish, then you say you should wonder, how is he going to take economic notice of the input that Honorable Kesaratu Forsen and others are going to be making? And you know the alternative views are going to be coming from this side. Our views cannot just be said without being considered. Mr. Speaker, we take serious concern about the absence of the finance minister in the House.
In his voice, the minority spokesperson on the Finance Committee, Ato Forsen, has called on the August House to suspend the debate until the minister appears in person, present in the House.
The matter raised by the Deputy Whip on the minority side is very grave, Mr. Speaker. This attitude is becoming too much. Mr. Speaker, the practice where ministers of finance present budget and fail to collect input should not be entertained. It is becoming too much from this finance minister. Mr. Speaker, I didn't start from today. You cannot read a budget and fail to solicit input to improve it going forward. Mr. Speaker, this is unbecoming of our minister responsible for finance, and we should not entertain it. Mr. Speaker, if we have our way, we should not debate until he appears before us before we start the debate. Mr. Speaker, this means that whatever you say, Mr. Speaker, the minister is not going to pick it up. And then obviously make input. Mr. Speaker, in building a nation, you get input from both sides. You don't just present a budget and travel abroad or go and sit in your office. Mr. Speaker, we cannot accept this. You should come before we start the debate.
Honorable Roxanne Dafia-Mekpo, rising to his feet, also pointed out that the current numbers of honorable majority members is not encouraging.
To the absence of the finance minister, it's also the absence of the majority members. Mr. Speaker, there are only 21. Meanwhile, the title of the budget is in Kabum. How can we do in Kabum debate when we are more than the people we are supposed to in Kabum? Mr. Speaker, they are not ready to in Kabum. So they should come to the floor so we debate the budget in an in Kabum manner. Thank you.
In their defense, this was what the majority had to say.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's important to set the record straight. First of all, the Constitution does not provide anywhere that the budget statement and economic policy should be submitted to this House by the Minister of Finance. You are totally wrong. The Constitution does not say that anywhere. Mr. Speaker, Article 179. Article 179 of the Constitution provides the President shall cause to be prepared and laid before Parliament at least 1 month before the end of the financial year estimates of the revenues and expenditure of government of Ghana for the following financial year. That's all that it says. It doesn't mention the minister responsible for finance. The President can choose to send any minister.
Minority Leader rebated, saying,
Mr. Speaker, I've heard the Majority Leader and Leader of Government business. I didn't expect him to go on a constitutional legal tangent Because, Mr. Speaker, as leader, his responsibility was just to provide an explanation, which is known to yourself and to the two of us, that in whole, the Honorable Minister for Finance requested of you and the House that he has to make an urgent trip to Germany. And I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, you indulge him. That should be the explanation. But if he chooses to want to dilute the important point the Honorable Ahmed made, I'm reminding you, go to paragraph 1 of the minister's own statement when he presented the budget. No, yeah, I'm coming to the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, paragraph 1, this is what Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta said. Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members of Parliament, on the authority of the President of the Republic of Ghana, and in accordance with the requirement under Article 179 of the 1992 Constitution. So the Honorable Ahmed couldn't be wrong. It's your own minister who said, I came here on the President's authority. And Honorable Ahmed is reminding you that having prepared this, let the introduction of it to Parliament, where is he to listen to other members of Parliament?
However, this was the final ruling of the Right Honourable Speaker.
You go to our standing orders, and Standing Order 140 is clear. The budget shall be presented to the House by the minister responsible for finance. It's clear there. On behalf of and on the authority of the President, and in such form as the House may determine. So it's the Minister for Finance, the Minister responsible for finance, who is by our procedure and rules to present the budget for and on behalf of the President. That is what is guiding us, and that is why when the minister could not present the budget, I think, is it last year? My very good friend, the majority leader himself, had to seek our permission to present it for and on behalf of the Minister of Finance. So it is not just the Constitution, but our standing orders are very clear as to who should present the budget before the House. So please, the minister was right to come and present the budget. It's not any other minister that should present the budget for and on behalf of the President. Our rules say it's the minister responsible for finance. If he is not able to do that, then somebody else will be authorized to come, and the person will have to get the leave of the House before that is done. So I am aware, and I was rightly informed by the minister that he will not be present today because he had to engage on a trip to represent our country in Germany. And that is a very good cause. It's a national cause. And his absence definitely was granted by my good self. And so I think that we could proceed with the debate. The Deputy Minister for Finance is available to take down the appropriate notes, and the Minister will be with us before we conclude the debate.